Part B. In the last video, captioned Part A, we had talked about MSS and FCLM as its basic concept. Please refer to part number A for due understanding of this part B. And now about the second most crucial and most basic concept of the MSS, namely a fully competent living master, abbreviated as FCLM. He is a personality with usual human traits plus extraordinary competences for initiating another eligible person on the SP, spiritual path, and to ensure later spiritual progress inch by inch. He has to be divine ordained. There is no scope for self-styling. There is no scope for auto or self-assuming the role of an FCLM. Now, such a personality, how to identify him? Some touchstone tests are required to be noted. They run as under. Number one, the most fundamental and basic one, a true God lover with all unto him attitude. This is the most important one. He is the true God lover because he has realized God. He has realized the over self. He is merged into the over self, and yet he is operating on the dualities plane, with the result that he can never forget even for a second that everything he does, each and every breath he takes, each and every morsel he eats, and each and every draught he drinks is a worship to Almighty. That is called all unto him attitude. Whether it is positive, whether it is negative, whether it is medium, whether it is completely devoid of all emotions or full of all emotions, this certainly is an all unto him for the FCLM. Number two, regularly meditating himself. He puts the example himself before others. He doesn't direct that you do it, and himself he walks away. No, he will sit along with the disciple and he would meditate himself. Only then he can have the close feeling of the disciple, his progress, his obstacles, his travels, and so on. Number three, in the worldly life, the FCLM is non-materialistic. He is quality conscious, not quantity conscious, quality conscious. He shuns property, fame, and disciple attractive. Now this is very, very important again. A disciple is a big burden on him. It's a huge responsibility. He has to care for him. He has to groom him, groom the disciple step by step. This itself calls for a great amount of sacrifice, attention, constant looking after, and all such factors. Therefore, he is very selective in taking disciples. He doesn't want many disciples. He wants only few, but quality. Number four, he is only a giver, not a donation seeker. Donations, in fact, are not meant for him. All donations, as a matter of fact, are based on selfish motives of the giver. And once there is selfish motive, then the very essence of donation is lost. It is a bargain. It becomes a business. It becomes some kind of a very, very formal relationship. Therefore, the FCLM is not a donation seeker. Number 5, He is not a preacher. He doesn't talk about the spiritual things. He practices them. He makes others practice them. He is a teacher of practice-oriented MSS. I'm sure this will be lacking in most of the so-called FCLMs or gurus or masters. Number 6, he initiates the disciple himself. He doesn't ask others to initiate him because only he can initiate them. It is a very, very technical and mysterious operation. In face-to-face mode, and continuously tracks progress to effect error correction. Regular feedback is required. Constant supervision is required. In fact, minute by minute supervision sometimes may be required. And he speaks from his very own original experiences because he is the ocean of such experiences. He is not dependent on others, what others sayings or what others say. He speaks from his very own original experiences, of course, garnished if necessary with other scholars' views to impress or to support his views for the understanding of half-baked, incompetent disciples. He is a true problem solver, a crisis manager, empathic, responsible, matured, decent, humane, friend, philosopher and guide in need, particularly, please note very carefully, particularly at the death or death-like moments when one is most distressed, alone and aghast with having been caught up in dragging black hole type unexperienced situations. Most of the ancient scholars don't know this. This is a very secret type of exercise rendered every now and then in case of every mortals by nature. It is a closely guarded secret which is not easily revealed. Number 7, the FCLM is not a hollow blesser, irrational advisor. He is not a weak character person. He is a person of determination and grit. But he is a true selfless caretaker of the disciple here and beyond, hereinafter. That means in life itself, because he is to groom that person to render him fit for spiritual exercises. And hereinafter, that means after the life is over, then of course he assumes the total charge of the person, of that soul. Number 8, he is a critical examiner of others' need for MSS. Believe it or not, as it has been rightly said by some of ancient scholars, that 99.9% people come to MSS or come to Almighty demanding redressal of their grievances so that their miseries, shortcomings, difficulties, problems are solved. And once that is solved, they forget. They easily forget everything. Then, the FCLM leads a simple life, unostentatious and self-reliant life with positive attitudes, and is vegetarian, teetotaler, non-smoker, unaddicted and balanced in all walks of life. Number 10, certainly he is disciplined, yet flexible and etiquetteful. Discipline in ordinary sense may mean rigidity, which is the very antithesis of this type of exercise. Discipline means here organization, properly pursuing it systematically according to a set timetable to achieve a preset goal Discipline here doesn't mean a regimentation or purely mechanical routine-like life. Conversely, while no offense is intended for anyone, and apologies if anyone is hurt by chance, this is our disclaimer already displayed. Please beware of, here is a caution about identifying who is not an FCLM, although he might be projecting himself as FCLM. Please beware of such traits. Number 1, glib talkers, tongue waggers. This is not a marketing exercise. Please remember, the marketing people certainly will like you to know something which they do not have. All that appears never exists. All that exists never appears. All is not gold that glitters. This is an old adage. Number 2, donation hunters. Please beware of donation hunters, ashram property builders. Their sole interest is to build worldliness on your shoulders, on your tank, on your cost. That might be hidden agenda even. Number 3, camouflaged worldlies, crowd pullers. As I have already said, FCRM is conscious about the quality, not of the quantity. He is not a crowd puller. In fact, he hates large mob, large followers, who are the definite obstacle in his way of life. Number 4, awe, glitter or imposing propagandists. Number 5, second-hand information-based lectures, demonstrations, advice, etc. givers. Number 6, pseudo-propagators or experts of yoga, miracle cures, meditations, hollow blessers, etc. We will talk more about these things in subsequent videos. Number 7, entertainers, hysteria generators, storytellers. Please beware of them. 8, so-called yogis, saints, sants, mahatmas, etc. They have also to be kept under a scanner. And number 9, charlatans or bluffers with impressive assets and followings, running into millions and trillions even. They can't give you anything in return except filling their own egos, own pockets. Number 10, bigwigs with luxurious, showy life, roaming in limousines, flying in big planes owned by them, and showing a very, very hectic, busy schedule. They are, in fact, spiritual businessmen and traders, raw intellectual gymnasts. They can't give anything worth. This brings us to end of part B, which is to be continued. I would like to thank everybody, particularly you, the viewers, and the YouTube who is bringing all this information to you. In fact, we are very grateful to them. And it's all under holy commands. Soon we will be talking about part C. Please wait for it. Stand by.